Cutting a very dapper figure tonight is James Creedon with a remarkable ensemble, looking fantastic, sir. Very snazzy.
Appreciate that.
This is, of course, Media Watch. And today James is looking at, well, how the Republicans in the States are trying to sort themselves out to pick a candidate to take on Barack Obama in the 2012 elections. Are they ready to rumble?
Well, gaffe after gaffe after gaffe over the last couple of weeks.
No.
No would be the short answer. Yeah. But then we'd call it, we'd fold this down and we'd be out here. Just to give a few details, last week there was Rick Perry's, what became known as the oops moment.
Oh, he kind of freaked out, didn't he?
He did, and I think we have some pictures of him. This was at a television debate, and he had three things. He had three agencies that he was going to get rid of when he became president, and he couldn't remember the third one. And for 53 seconds, he was floundering around at the podium. Very embarrassing stuff. And then Herman Cain, another one of the Republican Party candidates, gave a very unimpressive performance about Libya and about what exactly happened there. And it clearly showed that he had a very poor grasp of the military actions that had taken place there. So that's two candidates who
he's been
have
grasping
bitten
other things,
the dust.
Hasn't he?
This is
Let's say no more.
He's been busy. So in any case, the press has been all over this in the US. Here, the New York Times is saying that even veteran Republicans are now getting worried about the image of the party because of candidates such as this being so poor on certain issues. And then the New Statesman, British magazine, they're pointing out that Newt Gingrich could be benefiting from this. He's another one of the candidates. They point out, this was today, that he is ahead in one of the polls at 28%. He's sort of the candidate that a lot of people rally behind if they don't want Mitt Romney, and certainly if they don't want the other two who've been making gaffes. But even Mitt Romney, this was extraordinary in the Huffington Post today, they're saying he's now knee-deep in controversy because he's being linked to Freddie Mac. Now, that's one of the two organisations...
It's the subprime mortgage crisis, isn't it?
That's right, going back to 2008. You don't want to be linked to one of them. That's really bad news. Now, he did consultancy work for them. He said that he got about $300,000 for that. Now, former officials are saying actually closer to 1.6 or 1.8 million.
Maybe he forgot about the balance.
He must have forgotten about it. So even Newt, who was meant to be kind of doing well out of all of this, is not doing well. So it's pretty embarrassing stuff for all of them. And I suppose we'll have to see if Mitt Romney benefits from the fact that Newt Gingrich is now, it's hard to say where it'll go. And Newt Gingrich, by the way, who used to be the Speaker of the House in the US, is now trying to get rid of that insider image. They're talking about this as well in the Huffington Post. They're saying that he gave a speech yesterday at the Heritage Foundation. Now, that's one of the most conservative think tanks in Washington, D.C. And during the speech, he railed against the new Congress and the Washington elites, when he himself is probably...
He's one of the Washington elites, yeah.
Right. And they're saying, isn't it a bit ridiculous that he gave this speech, not on a stump out in the middle of the countryside, but in Washington at a think tank? It doesn't really add up.
Absolutely crazy, isn't it? So the likes of Michelle Bachmann, who is billed as Sarah Palin with political brains, she's kind of petered out.
It's not looking good for her either. But what they're also saying is it's good to be an outsider, and that's clearly the image that Newt Gingrich is trying to curry up. And even with these gaffes, other people have been trying to kind of roll back and say, look, it proves that we're not Washington insiders, we're not establishment. So.
Well, we just say that James and I are outsiders, and we're going to keep it that way. OK, let's take a look now at this ad campaign that's causing quite a stir. The Italian clothes maker Benetton.
Benetton, look at what they're getting up to. I suppose they were always a company for shock ad campaigns. But look, the Pope and an Egyptian imam. I'm pretty sure that never happened. That's probably Photoshopped.
It's Photoshop. Well, that's clearly Photoshop.
That's Obama and Hu Jintao. They don't get up to that sort of action at state summits.
Chavez and Obama.
Chavez and Obama. You even had Netanyahu at one point. There it is, Netanyahu and Mahmoud Abbas.
This has obviously caused a bit of a hoo-ha. I know the Vatican have complained about the one with the Pope.
That's right, and it's going to be taken out. But I'll just quickly show you, Mark, the image that inspired it all. This was Brezhnev, the Soviet leader, and Honecker, who was the East German leader back in October 1979. That really happened.
Sure.
That really happened.
That's how they used to greet each other with a big kiss.
It's incredibly romantic
Not
stuff.
that one. That's Merkel and Sarkozy. But that's the shot we're talking about. That's Honecker and Brezhnev.
That's right. Back in East
Sooner
Berlin.
them than me. James and I aren't going to do that kind of thing.
No reconstruction.
It's a handshake and that's it. James, as ever, thank you very much.
Mark.
Always a pleasure seeing you.